Hey, what's up everyone? John Martinez coming at you with my daily, sometimes twice daily Facebook Lives. I feel like I'm kind of finding my groove here with the Facebook Lives. Anyways, we've all heard, I kind of want to share something with you that's going to help you close more deals. If you're a real estate investor and you are going on appointments and you're walking away with people saying, let me think about it, or going to talk to some other people, let me get back to you, or hey, I'm going to get some other offers, or I'm still trying to figure out what I need to do, or I need to sleep on it. If that is happening to you during a good amount of your sales calls when you go and make offers on houses, I'm going to share something with you with this little story that I think we can all relate to, or we're all familiar with. That's just going to help you probably double those close rates. So here it goes. Marry me or else it's over. We've all heard that ultimatum before. Some of us have experienced it. Some of us have had friends that have experienced it. Or we've seen that scenario in movies or stories or something similar. I think we're all pretty familiar with that. Like, the situation where typically it's a guy dragging his feet. Been with a woman for years or maybe even decades, and at some point the woman finally says, you know what, it's time, like we are gonna do this, or it's over. Like if by now you don't know if you want to marry me or not, then it probably means we're never gonna get married. We shouldn't get married, and let's move on with our lives. You probably all heard of those situations, right? And we're familiar with those situations. So I want to break down why that situation happens and how you could use what we learned from that situation to close more deals. So why would somebody, and typically it's a guy dragging his feet because that's how we are. Why would a woman say, hey, we're going to do this or else we're not going to do this? What actually happens? Well, what happens in that situation is, I want you to think about what it forces the guy in this situation to do. Well, it forces a guy to finally make a decision. Finally is forced into the situation where he has to decide, is this going to happen? Is there holding me back? Is there anything we need to talk about before I take action? Is it really a no that I'm never going to marry this person and I need to just tell him? And what happens when a person is given that ultimatum is the guy finally has to make a determination. Number one, is this ever going to happen? Yes or no? If the answer is no, I'm going to have to share that no. Or number two, is it a yes? Or there's even a caveat there. Maybe there's something we need to chat about. I want it to be a yes, but there's one or two things we need to figure out before I can give that yes. Well, you want to double excuse me. Got a little cough. You want to use the same type of ultimatum in a sales call, because you see, when you're buying houses, and if you have the right conversation, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I'm revamping a lot of the stuff we're doing for this next REI Sales Academy boot camp in Nashville. If you have the right conversation, you're talking about all the motivations why someone wants to sell their house or is even thinking about it, and get them worked up and kind of this frenzy about, what they're dealing with now and what life would be like if they get this property out from under them, and the stress that's relieved and all that kind of stuff. And the motivation's high. And you get to the end, and then they want to think about it because it's a big decision, just like marriage, right? Well, there's a lot that goes into it. I don't want to jump into this too quickly. It's not something you jump into quickly. I want to think about it. The same reason why most guys drag their feet, right? Well, your job as a salesperson is to force decision, not in a bad way, not forcing it preemptively, but you want to force them to deal with what's in front of them, and either give you a no if it's going to be a no, come to the determination that, hey, you know what, I'm not selling my house like this, or come to the determination that, yes, it is time, I don't want to lose this opportunity, so I'm just going to do it, or the caveat to that, I do really want to sell, but there's still one or two things holding me back that we really want to talk about. So now I'm going to place those two things side by side. Number one, what does it sound like when a dude like me is dragging their feet? Sounds like this. Hey, John, listen, I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way. I, really like what we have here together, but we've been together a long time, and, it's just kind of hit that point where if we're going to take some type of next step forward, it's probably time to figure that out. And if it's not time to take that next step forward, that's okay, but that's probably something we need to talk about now as well, because we've kind of been together long enough, talked through enough, know each other well enough that it's either time to take a next step or it's not. And I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I think we've hit that time where you either know it is something we want to move forward with, or we know it's not. And more time is not going to change that. We just need to make that determination one way or the other. No hard feelings either way. Now that's the relationship conversation. This is the exact same conversation at the end of a sales call. Now let me explain. Let me tell you exactly how that sounds. So, hey, Isaiah, what's good? Isaiah, we were just texting back and forth while I was at the gym earlier. Nashville. We're doing a boot camp in Nashville. It's late April in Nashville. It's the last Monday and Tuesday in April. And then I'm doing on Wednesday, I'm doing a half day to a full day. We're just going to play it by ear with just business owners on all other sales systems, kind of a mastermind. How can we revamp those? So from hiring to training to managing salespeople to follow-up campaigns and all that, we're doing it. This isn't a sales pitch for that, but shit, you know what, guys? If you're on this call, if you're on this live and you see this is Friday morning, and you want to go to that Nashville, just private message me right now and say $500 off. And for the first 3 people that private message me and just say $500 off boot camp tickets in Nashville, I'll just give you $500 off, and I'll throw in that 3rd day Owner's Day Mastermind. We're charging $1,500 for it. I'll give you that for free. So first 3 people who just, this is off the cuff, so sorry about that, but just private message me. You have to private message me or else I won't see it. I barely see comments on this stuff. Private message me, say $500 off, free 3rd day, and I'll give you that mastermind for free. But anyways, let me get back to what I was talking about. How does this message sound when you're in an investment deal? It's the exact same with just a few tweaks. Here it goes. Hey, Linda, listen. We've talked about a lot, and I know this is a big decision, and there really is a lot to think about. And if I were in your situation, I'd want to really take my time and think about it too. But I've been doing this a long time, and based on everything we've talked about and everything we've talked through, if this isn't something that you feel 100% confident that you need to move forward with and take some type of action on, and I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, but what that probably means is that this isn't something you need to do, and you probably just need to call this what it is. It probably needs to be a no. And again, I don't want this to come out the wrong way. If you want to sell your house, I'd love to buy it, but one thing I can't do is just leave offers with everyone I talk to. I've talked to 3 people this week. We bought a couple of houses. I'm going to talk to more. And, it's either a fit or it's not. And if it's not a fit, we need to just call it what it is. And if it is a fit, then let's talk about what some next steps are. Or sometimes we get to this point and I know I want to do something, but there's still 1 or 2 things I really got to figure out before I really know for sure if I want to do this or not. So at this point, we either need to call it a no. And if that's the case, that no hard feelings, that's okay, not a big deal. I talk to a lot of people, and we don't buy houses from everyone we talk to. That'd be silly, right? But if it is something you want to do, then we need to determine what the next step is, or just figure a yes or somewhere in between where we need to talk through 1 or 2 things that you still need to figure out, and I'll try to help you. Then that's where we're at. And please don't take this the wrong way. I feel absolutely... It hurts to have this conversation. I don't want you to take this the wrong way. But at the same time, after everything we've talked about, if you still don't feel comfortable moving forward in one way or the other, it probably means that we really shouldn't. So does that make sense, everybody? That's how you, because it's the same way with that marriage ultimatum, right? It's the exact same. It forces someone to tell you no if it's really a no. And if it is a no, when do you want to know? You want to know right now. And even if it is a no, it doesn't mean you're done selling, right? You could just, if it is a no, most of my deals come from when it's a no, it's, hey, now that it's over, let me ask you a question. What in the world do you think you're going to do? And I'm right back to selling, figuring out what I missed, right? But so it either is a no and you can continue selling, or you can knock them off, right? Or now you're moving the deal along. Some people will just go, you know what? I'm not letting, I got to do this. It's just time. Now is time. I'm doing it. Or they're going to say, I do need to do something, but I just can't figure out where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do with all this stuff, what my sister's going to say, what I'm going to do with the tenants. Then we can deal with it, right? So I want you to take that lesson from that situation we've all seen in movies, or some of us may have experienced it on either the side of needing to make the decision or the side of, hey, it's time to make a decision one way or the other. So I want you to learn from that and use it in your sales calls to get that decision one way or the other in a nice, nurturing way. It doesn't force people to take action they're not ready to take, but it forces people to either give you the no if it already is a no, or, hey, it's a yes, they're going to give you the yes, or tell you what they're still struggling with before they can make it a yes. We're just opening up the conversation so we can deal with what's in front of us, force the sellers to deal with in front of them, label where they're at, and then we can move forward. So guys, if you're buying houses and you're looking to do it at the deepest discounts, I hope that helps. And anyone who wants to come see me at the boot camp in Nashville, go to our website, midwestrev.com. If you need information, just click on the boot camp tab. It has dates, all that kind of stuff. But we talk in depth for 2 days on this conversation, and then we're doing an owner's mastermind where we talk about everything else that impacts sales. Private message me, $500 off, free mastermind day, and I'll get that to you for the next couple of people that do that. And that's it. Have a happy Friday.